Dear viewers, a very good day to you from my side here in Zagreb. It's a beautiful day here today. The gold price is also beautiful at the moment. Today I have a very special guest with me, also a good friend, Yannick Thurner from Heimerle Meule, Germany.
Thank you very much. I'm happy to be here as well.
It's actually quite funny, we're both from Vienna. Today we're meeting in Zagreb at the Grow Gold Fair. The background, of course, is that we also have a branch here in Croatia. And Yannick, of course, supplies us with his gold bars from Heimerle and Meule. And Heimerle and Meule, Germany, the oldest mint in Germany. Tell us a bit about yourselves.
Yes, gladly. So we are the oldest gold and silver refinery in Germany. We've been around since 1845. That naturally inspires a great deal of trust among our customers and our partners. All the more, we're delighted that we can now also get involved in gold supply with our own products.
Regardless of the product itself, it's a mint and the gold price. One could almost say we're right in the middle of a gold party. It just doesn't stop. What can you tell us about that? Where is the price headed? And what do you as a mint have to pay special attention to in times like these?
That's actually a question we ask ourselves as well. Of course, we don't have a crystal ball and can't announce how things will develop. But for example, last year we had 40 all-time highs. It's crazy.
Even 50.
Even 50?
Yes.
Incredible, that's crazy. That's why, really, there's never a wrong time to invest in gold. To come back to your question, right now there's a situation in the markets. Of course, we see the US government. Yesterday evening, the tariffs were finally announced.
Finally.
What impact this will have on gold remains to be seen. Normally, I would say prices will rise, but today, on the first day after, we're actually seeing the opposite. Yes, we've dropped by almost 3 euros again compared to yesterday. That's why we're all watching closely to see what happens. But it's not just the US government. There are still many other uncertainties in the world. Middle East, Russia, Ukraine. So there's a lot going on, and it's still unclear how things will develop.
You said the gold price will continue to rise. That means you could almost say this is just the beginning of it all. You can see it in the world as well. The exponential increase in money supply, it just doesn't stop. The debt keeps increasing. By now, we don't even know how much money is actually in circulation or how many loans have been granted. Yes, exactly. We also believe that this is just the beginning. That's why it's important for people out there to invest in gold in time to simply take advantage of the current period before the breakout to the upside happens. Then, of course, we can see that as well. Especially our partnership, Goldvorsorge and Heimerle Meule, has been very strong in the past, particularly with the gold bars. We are always in contact to ensure that we always have the products available in all of our branches. And I think that actually works quite well. And of course, as Yannick already mentioned at the beginning, we are already planning the next move with the next products, which you can also see nicely here. The 1 gram gold bar, also known as unity bars, right?
Exactly right, yes.
Right. So what else is there in terms of markets? Are there any new markets to focus on now? Or would you say now that gold is represented everywhere?
So we always recommend to our investors, our customers, our dealers, that you should always have a healthy mix. That means 10% in precious metals. Of course, it doesn't have to be just gold. We also see that silver is becoming increasingly attractive. We believe that silver is still somewhat undervalued and that there is still potential for price increases. Of course, it's simply impossible to predict within what time frame. We'll have to wait and see. But a healthy portfolio definitely includes precious metals to some extent. As I said, we see 10% as the benchmark. And this potential in Germany, Austria, and especially in Croatia has not been fully tapped. In Croatia, we have a lot of first-time buyers. That means there is still a lot of potential there. But even in Austria and Germany, we see bright times ahead.
Yes, absolutely. We can definitely confirm that as well. Demand is exploding. You could say that literally.
Yes.
Not just from large investors and central banks who always take advantage of the pullbacks, but also from private investors, those who are also finding their way into gold. And from that perspective, would you say that do customers place more value on small denominations or do they go straight for the large ones?
Definitely on smaller denominations.
Yes.
Because there's simply more liquidity. If you have a 1 kilo bar, it's hard to break it up into small pieces. Of course, that doesn't make any sense. That's why we also see customers exchanging their half kilo bars or whole kilo bars, which they bought years ago, for smaller denominations, simply because it offers more flexibility and more liquidity. And yes, that is certainly the big advantage here. And since we have our beautiful, high-quality 1 gram bars available, that is actually one of our very best and most popular products right now. Of course, we also offer the classic minted bars from 2.5 to 100 grams and so on in this context.
That means you also notice that the smaller denominations are now in even higher demand.
Yes, absolutely.
I can absolutely confirm that as well, both from the buying and selling side. The flexibility is simply there. And you're simply, I would say, well prepared for the future. If gold were to return as a means of payment, there is already discussion about this in America, then of course you're flexible and don't have to give back large amounts of value. But you always have something set aside. So I'd say thank you very much, Yannick, for the nice interview and the interesting insights. We'll definitely be seeing each other more often. Maybe we'll stop by your place sometime so we can give the viewers a look as well, how everything works behind the scenes. And of course, we're already looking forward to the new products. They will, of course, be available in all our web shops in every country. Enjoy the flexibility of these products and, of course, stay protected against future crises. Because gold has always survived and gold will continue to offer you protection in the future. At this point, have a wonderful day from all of us and see you next time.